Hi there, and welcome back to Less Marvelless, the once a month other Marvelless podcast where me and my best friend Lauren and your best friend Lauren talk about talk about whatever we want. How are you today, Lauren?
I'm really good. How are you?
I'm good, thank you very much. I think this is the first podcast recording where neither of us are ill.
I think so, maybe.
Well, new year, new us.
No germs for us.
Whoop whoop. Something terrible is coming, definitely.
Honestly, I broke a mirror. Like,
oh no.
the third day into the year, I was like, kill me now. That's it. Done.
I assume you broke the mirror because you were scorned by a American man in a big fancy house in English countryside.
I was so upset that he had this massive house that I had smashed the mirror whilst moving my baby's cot.
How are you out there, audience? I hope you're doing well. I hope none of you are ill, and if you are ill, stay away. I don't want that.
Happy New Year to everyone.
Yeah, yes, Happy New Year again.
We said this already, haven't we?
No, it doesn't matter. You know what? Happy New Year, Happy Christmas, Happy Birthday. Who knows when you're listening? Yeah, I'm going to go for a wild one here. Happy Halloween. You know, people that do that at like work, do they? They're not like, oh, Happy Halloween on like October 30th, are they? People like, oh, it's Halloween. Oh yeah.
You know what kind of like really irritates me, really irks me? You know, on Instagram where people are like, Happy Monday. And then it's like Wednesday, Happy Wednesday, nice to see you all. I'm like, oh God, kill me. Stop. So cringe.
Oh dear, yeah, I 100% agree. So, a different format for Less Marvelless this year. Less quizzes, probably, unless it's a special occasion. More casualness, and as the title probably gives away, talking about more current movies.
Yeah. I think anything that, I don't know, Saltburn seems to have gone a bit viral, I want to say.
Yeah, it's popping off all over Letterboxd when I was logging Johnny English Reborn the other day.
Really?
Yeah, the film I started 2023 with, Johnny English Reborn.
Saltburn was actually my first film of the year.
That's pretty good.
But yeah, it's so strange. Like, I have not been in a position for a really long time where everyone is talking about a film.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember the last kind of film that everyone's like, oh my gosh. Like, I think Barbie to an extent, but I think Saltburn sort of like risen above this. Like, everyone at work today was like, oh, have you seen Saltburn? Have you seen Saltburn? This was horrible. Like, the amount of people that were talking about it at work, I was just kind of like taken aback because it's not a film that you would imagine a lot of people would go to the cinema to watch.
Oh no, Amazon Prime did the correct thing of making that a streaming. Pardon me, of making that a streaming movie.
Yeah, definitely.
Like that would have died a death at cinema. I know it did get a cinema release. My brother saw it in the cinema.
Oh, did he?
He was telling me just before Christmas that he'd seen it, and it was like, oh yeah, this would have, if this only had this to make money from, no.
No.
Yeah, spoilers ahead, gang, as me and Lauren tread the muddy waters of Saltburn. How did you first hear about Saltburn, Lauren?
I don't really know. It was just kind of like in the ether, do you know what I mean? It's just kind of like everyone was talking about it. It was just getting more and more, if that makes sense. Like, I don't think I'd seen a specific article about it or a TikTok or anything like that. It was just there, and all I kept hearing was Saltburn this, Saltburn that. And I think it was probably more people, like Instagram influencers, had been watching it and talking about it rather than anything else, maybe.
Yeah, for me again, it was my brother mentioned it just before Christmas. I'll mention it at work tomorrow and see whether anybody has watched it.
It was quite funny, our discussions at work today.
Yeah, I the last film I know someone watched in the office. Someone went to watch Wonka again just before Christmas.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and they cried at the end.
Oh.
They didn't. That's just a rumor I'm starting. And if you are listening, that rumor's now on the internet that you cried at the end of Wonka. Everyone knows that you cried at the end of Wonka. That's a joke for one person who I know doesn't listen to the podcast.
Oh, lovely. But to be honest, like the people at work, I wouldn't have pictured them sitting down to watch that. And a lot of them are sort of like older, sort of like women or parents in their 40s, 50s kind of thing. And they were like, oh yeah, my older kids were telling me about it, and they sat down to watch it, and they were like, no, I'm not watching that with you, Mum.
Yeah, this is not
like, you cannot watch that with like your pet. Like, how would you feel if you were watching that with your mum? I said to her, and she was like, oh.
We're a strange family, Lauren. We wouldn't care. Well, we were watching the other day, and we were watching The Nice Guys, and that's all about porn stars, and it was like, it's just.
There's that, and then there's Saltburn.
Yeah, yeah. I think, you know what? I think I figured out the last time there was something this much in the zeitgeist, and I think it was Squid Game.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think you're right, actually.
And I think that Amazon Prime have just done the Netflix clever thing, which is when you open up Prime, Saltburn just starts playing.
Does it?
Yeah, but it did for me. It's just like, and I was like, that's a good way to get people to watch a film. You turn it on, and it's basically just there already going. It's like most people just be like, oh, mate, it's already on. The decision, Amazon Prime's made this decision for me. Like, I can't believe that Squid Game, a Korean drama show, was so popular.
I know.
And I feel like a bit of Squid Game's message went over people's head. Mainly the people at Netflix. It clearly went over their head. Now they've made the real life Squid Game.
Oh.
It would be like whoever made Hunger Games being like, we should do a real life Hunger Games, I think.
Oh, could you imagine the real life Hunger Games? God. Squid Games is a weird one. Even kids talk about Squid Game, and they play the games from Squid Game, and
I mean the games from Squid Game, like hopscotch, that biscuit game, tug of war.
Well, my boys and his cousins were playing red light, green light the other day, and I was like, why are you playing red light, green light? And they were like, oh, we play at school, but then they were like shooting each other dead at the end. And I was like, can we not do that part of the game, please? Can we just be out?
And they were like, no, Mother, the revolution will be televised. Oh dear. So, Saltburn is a film from 2023. I assume one of the last films released last year.
I think so.
Which means it ain't going to be in the Oscars this year, guys. And if it is, that's wild. It stars Barry
Keoghan?
Yeah. From Eternals, of course. Everyone will know him from Eternals.
Oh, yeah.
And Green Knight, which was the first film I saw him in.
Oh. Jacob Elordi. I know him. I know his face. And I feel he seems really familiar, but I couldn't tell you anything that I'd seen him in. Maybe I've got IMDb him.
The only person I really recognised was Richard Gere. Sorry, Richard Gere, oh my god.
What?
Was Richard E. Grant.
Yes. And do you know where I recognise him from? The Spice Girls movie.
And the
and
lady...
Loki.
Yes. And the lady who played the mother, because she was in Johnny English Reborn. So yeah, she plays the love interest in Johnny English Reborn.
Oh, every time I log into IMDb, the first page that comes up is Beautiful Boy.
Check out the Beautiful Boy episode of the Marvellous podcast. Yeah, so Saltburn tells the story of this lad that goes to uni in 2006. Goes to Oxford Uni. He's a scholar, I believe. Or at least, I actually don't know whether he was a scholar or not.
Aren't they all scholars? I don't. If they go to the.
No, a scholarship means that.
Oh,
Well,
he did have a scholar. They said that he was a scholarship student.
but I don't know how much, as becomes clear later in the film, I don't know how much of the information about him is true. So I don't know whether that was true
Yeah, that is
or not.
Yeah, they didn't clear that up, did they?
No, I mean, and that's the one hanging fruit from Saltburn. And he falls in good mates with this wealthy kid who's also going to Oxford. If you could imagine a wealthy person going to Oxford. And then he gets invited back to his summer home invited back to the wealthy lad's home during the summer, which is called Saltburn, the estate is.
Yeah.
And then I thought they were going to eat him. Because every time I see wealthy people invite a poorer person to anywhere, I'm like, they're going to eat them. That was my exact thought in the menu when that happened. I was like, they're going to eat Anna Taylor-Joy. Like,
I don't know what I was expecting. I was kind of like, I think from what I'd heard and what I'd seen, I was expecting it to be some weird, like, pornographic, sort of like, gay love story, maybe.
Yeah.
From like what I'd seen of like any of the clips and stuff. So I was expecting that. I hadn't seen much, but I think that was the impression that I had.
Yeah.
And I was expecting him to go over to this summer home and then end up in a relationship or something like that. And I think it was playing out like that. It did make it seem like that was the intention.
Yeah, the film has a really strong tonal shift, like halfway through Act 2.
Yeah.
I'd say the first hour of the film is a love story between these two lads at uni.
Yeah.
And like, how you do fall in love with somebody, and and also how you leave your mate who's really good at maths behind when you go to uni.
He was a prick.
I thought at the end of it, when I was sat there, I was like, oh, he might have been the only likable character in this entire movie. I recognise another spicy mind when I see one. He just wanted someone to show he was good at maths. I get that.
Yeah, but you can't scream at somebody like that.
Yeah, well, that's probably the least horrible thing to happen at Oxford is someone raise their voice. The film is shot. The film is presented all in a 4:3 aspect ratio.
Yeah, that.
But definitely wasn't shot in 4:3. I'll tell you that.
Did not think.
Because its native format was 35mm, which is full frame, which is 16:9. So the film's like black bar aesthetic is entirely digital. I mean, the way the film looks, when it wants to give a shit, it is gorgeous.
Yeah.
Like, I found I'd say that my overarching like thesis on the film is it's like ping ponging constantly, be it in quality or art styling or like even story a little bit and pacing. But
yeah.
I found it switched back and forth quite a lot,
but I think it's probably like done purposefully. It's
Yes.
unsettling to jump between sort of like those different levels of like feeling. So like there's a constant sort of like unnerving feeling, and then like, oh, this is really nice, and they're going to be friends or whatever, and ping ponging between like, oh god, what's going to happen, and the unknowing thing. I think it made it unsettling, and it got more and more unsettling the further things went along, and the further like deeper he got into the family and everything else.
Yeah, so our little boy from Preston, who's been taken to Saltburn, he's in some kind of class with another lad that lives at Saltburn. He's like cousins to the boy that he's in love with, isn't he?
Yeah, Farley.
Like, Farley, yeah, who I think is actually maybe the villain of the piece.
He's horrible, isn't he?
Farley is essentially a freeloader who keeps calling. What's he called? Barry. What's the main guy's name?
Ollie.
Ollie. Yeah, he keeps calling the main character Ollie out for being a freeloader, even
When
though
he's
Ollie
a freeloader himself.
Yeah, he just clearly sees his numbers up, and him and Ollie had a falling out the first time they met at uni because Ollie had done the reading and like actually knew what he was talking about, and Farley was just there because the Saltburn family were paying for him to go.
Yeah, and then he got in with the teacher because the teacher was like fancied his mum back at school or something really bizarre. So he was basically just going to skate on through without any real effort.
Yeah, and didn't like the fact that Ollie was like at least presenting as someone who was like capable and intelligent and like actually deserving of their place.
Yeah.
You know, like he's the one that shits on his scholarship. Well, like, oh, they have to pay for you to come here. It's like, but someone's paying for him to come here. Whereas Ollie's scholarship was earned through hard work and academia.
Yeah.
I don't know how much of the film I want to give away.
I don't really know. I mean,
I'll just say one thing, guys. They don't eat the main character. That doesn't happen.
No.
That's clearly my visceral reaction to just being around rich people.
I said to someone earlier, because there was one person that hadn't seen it, and she was like, "Oh, I don't deal well with like gory stuff," and I said, "I don't think it's really gory, but it's kind of like an assault."
Yes.
On your just yourself. Like watching that film, I felt a bit after I'd watched it.
Do you want to talk about the bath?
Do you think the bath was the worst thing?
I was eating my tea when the bath thing happened, so that felt like the worst thing. I mean, I just wouldn't do that to a bath, irregardless, ever. Like,
but to me, it's just like bath. Like it looked like bath water to me.
Yeah, and I wouldn't do that with bath water.
Well, no, I wouldn't do that with bath water, but I was like, it's kind of gross. It's pretty grim.
I just wouldn't want to lick the plug hole.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, irregardless. Like, Jesus Christ could have just gotten out of that bath and be like, I'm not licking that plug hole.
The bit outside with the sister was the worst bit for me.
Oh, come on, Lauren.
Mm-mm.
Well, that's not very feminist of you.
I don't care. And I could, I was on board with a little bit of it, and then it just got grim, and I was like, no, I'm not on board with this at all.
Shall we describe these scenes instead of just talking around them?
Can you describe it?
Yeah, so the first scene, talking about the bath scene, Oliver's love interest, Felix, I'm going to say.
Yes.
Pleasures himself in a bath. And then, because they're sharing an adjoining room in Saltburn where they share the same bathroom, and Ollie watches him pleasure himself in the bath. And then Felix leaves and drains the bath, and then Ollie sneaks in as the bath's draining and licks up the remaining water in the bath, including like tonguing the plug hole. And
that's a little slurp.
Yeah, it's like, it's not the fact that he's licking up semen. I can deal with that. Again, it was the fact he was putting his tongue in the plug hole. I was like, people intake semen via their mouth daily. I don't want to see people. I don't want to see. Yeah, exactly.
The thing is, that's like the family bath. Like a few different people had used that bath. It's not like.
Richard E. Grant has been in there.
Oh, they've got people to clean the bath, I suppose.
Yeah, I find it interesting that like, there's no like hero to the piece, which I don't think stories need good guys and bad guys. Like everyone in the film is not nice. I think the film presents itself as at the start like an anti-rich movie. It's like the wealthy are evil and inconsiderate.
Yeah.
Then by the end, like, you know, they're throwing Ollie like a lovely big party, even though they barely know him. Actually, they are quite nice. Like they're a bit naive and they're a bit like don't know how the real world works, but they are. This guy that their son's known for 6 months, they throw him like a massive birthday party. But
it is kind of nice, but it's also kind of like, not inappropriate, but I don't know. They're like, oh, we just invite 200 people. Like he doesn't even know 200 people. Like,
No, but yeah, again, that's their like out of touchness again.
yeah,
But that is what they consider to be nice.
yeah, I suppose
So
so.
like they're not doing that to embarrass him. So, oh, you don't even know 200 people. They're like, oh, well, invite 200 people to your birthday party because that's how many people go to a birthday party, right? They're not like I'm not here justifying these horrible rich people because again, as I said a minute ago, I thought they were going to eat him. But it turns out he's the real vampire. Boy.
That was just I don't know, a real turn.
Yeah. What other gross? They were kind of. I think the thing is, the two gross scenes were back to back, weren't they? And then after that, it settled down a bit, didn't it?
Yeah, I think it did. He was just. I think his character was just unsettling. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't think you ever, as a viewer, know where you stood, like what he was
Yeah.
going to do next, and I think that's uncomfortable to be watching.
Yeah, I think maybe the reason that bath scene hit so hard is like the mask slips.
Yeah.
Like for that you do not. By the time he's performing oral sex on the woman who's on her period, like the we've already seen that he's a fucking freak. Not that it's freaky to make love to someone who's on their period, but
No,
like by
but
that,
he's fucking freak before that. Yeah.
yeah, I'm like, you're a freak, dude. Like, I don't think blood's gonna concern you. I just saw you fucking try and warp the world 1-1 from Super Mario with your tongue, bro. This guy's doing fucking what's he called? Mr. Clean. What's he called?
Mr. Muscle.
Yeah, Mr. Muscle. Like he's his own personal Mr. Muscle. I did find something interesting. I wish I had a better art history whilst watching this movie, because there is some nice symbolism going on. I think the statue where he first starts flirting with the mother and like twisting her, I think that statue behind there is called like Soul or Saul kills himself and his wife. I think that's the statue. And it's a statue of a Gaelic man, which is who our main character is. He's Gaelic. Stabbing his wife to death.
Oh.
And it's like meant to. It's like a interesting statue in history because it depicts this, like, people's reading of it is it's a war chief who knows him and his wife are going to be captured, so he kills his wife and then he kills himself.
Oh.
And I was like, oh, that, like, if that is that statue, this is like a very interesting thing because in this scene he is killing the wife, he's poisoning her, but like
Yeah.
that will be that then extends even further into the actual end of the movie when, spoiler alert, he actually does kill her.
It's weird because he's like the villain of it all, but at the end, but he's still kind of like the winner.
Yeah.
He wins the house. He gets everything that he wanted.
Yeah. And then he gets
By
to do his
killing
big
it.
dance.
Yeah. Didn't need to see all of that though.
Oh, yeah, before we get to, I want to spin back around to the statues. In the hedge maze, which plays a crucial part in the film, in the middle there is the statue of the Minotaur as well.
Mm-hmm.
Which again, I like the whole labyrinth and like, oh, and then the whole theme of the film being doppelgangers as well. I thought that was interesting. Like they mention that early on when they're at dinner when his eggs aren't quite right. Like they're talking about doppelgangers, and then someone who's wearing the exact same shirt as Oliver walks past the window behind Oliver. Not Oliver. Same shirt as Felix walks past the window
Oh,
as
really?
Felix. Yeah, and like, oh yeah, the whole film. That's actually that scene's hinting at the twist that actually that Ollie is a doppelganger. He's like a different person. Like there is
Yeah.
two Ollies. Like.
Oh. No, I didn't notice that at all.
And then he's even served 2 eggs as well, and like
Oh, yeah.
when he's playing with the toy of the maze, there's like 2 barbarians that can't move past each other as well.
Okay.
And again, there's 2 people in the house who are scrounging from the rich family. There is 2 children of the actual family.
Yeah.
Like, whoa!
There must be a way to turn that off.
Again, for the listeners at home, I was talking with my hands. I did a big old 2 and some
Why
balloons.
is it when you actually want to do it, it doesn't work?
Don't know. Now,
Always a party in here now.
yeah. So in Ollie's birthday party at the end, he's wearing the antlers, and I was like, oh, that makes. Ooh, fucking. I was like, oh, that makes him look like prey because we will hunt deer. And then I was like, oh wait, but also deer kill.
Yeah.
Like the reason that people hunt deer and they're a trophy is because that they're a predator animal. Like, you know. And then that's when he starts, spoiler alert, killing people in that family.
No, that whole scene with the antlers and everything else. Like, I think it must have some other symbolism because I've seen, like in True Blood, there was a woman, like, and she would, like, basically take everybody's souls and eat them and kind of stuff. We're doing great on our time. And she had like this antler kind of thing, and it was just so creepy looking. I think there must be some other symbolism towards it for that.
If Aisha was here, she'd be good at this because she's good at symbology and all that stuff.
Okay, well, I've googled it now. So apparently, the deer's antlers are symbolic of a spiritual superiority.
Yeah, which is kind of how Ollie saw himself as basically above everybody he knew.
Yeah, I think so. He just, like, even anyone like in a class above him or even a class below him, like he was above a level on for everybody, wasn't he?
Yeah, this film is like the narcissist's wet dream. Yeah. There's someone who's going to watch this and think that, like, oh yeah, Ollie's the fucking bee's knees.
Yeah, it's like they're like too fucking right.
Yeah,
get that house.
It's like when people watch Fight Club and think Tyler Durden's really cool, or Mad Men and think the guy from that, Don Draper's really good. It's like, no, these are not symbols of like coolness. These are like pieces of shit who you should hate. You shouldn't like Don Draper. He's a horrible, horrible man.
Oh, I love Mad Men though. Mad Men was so good.
It is a good show, but Don Draper is a piece of shit.
He is a massive twat. But
it's like the way you're meant to feel. I'm going to spoil Breaking Bad here, guys. Your fault. The show ended fucking 100 years ago. When Heisenberg dies at the end of Breaking Bad, yeah, I think you're meant to be kind of like, yeah, good. I'm glad that fucker's dead. He poisoned children and like he's a piece of shit.
I mean, I hated his wife for a really long time, but by the end, I was like, "Oh Jesus, die already!"
Yeah, I think if people think that Skylar is the bad guy of Breaking, see, he agrees. If people think that Skylar is the bad guy of Breaking Bad, they should rewatch it all again. I know that she has sex with that guy from a job or whatever, but a little bit of like cheating is nothing compared to what fucking Walter does. Do you need to go check on your baby, Lauren?
No, I'm just watching the monitor. He's asleep, but
is he doing
moaning
that dance
in his sleep?
He's doing that dance from Ally McBeal. Ooga check, ooga ooga. That's 2 episodes in a row, by the way. That's come up.
Oh, I might show Ellie. I might show Ellie at the dancing baby to Ooga Checker and see if he can get Max to dance to it.
Yeah, get his older brother in on it. Dear. Yeah. I keep trying to go. What do I give Saltburn out of 5? Like,
I don't know. I
but
think.
that's how we do regular episodes, unless we're bringing that into this.
Well, I, we might as well give it a rating. I would give it a 4. I think,
Yeah.
just because it was not like a shocking film, but it wasn't what I expected. It
Yeah.
like I was actually quite gripped through it. I thought I'll just chuck this on and I'll
Yeah.
play my Pokemon game while I'm watching this. Just I'll do these two things at once. And I was just literally like mouth door open, going, "Oh my god, what is going on?" And like most of it's like beautifully shot. It looks really cool.
Mm.
Like it's a very artsy film, and it's so
Yeah.
strange for such an artsy film for people to be talking about.
Yeah. I almost agree with everything that you said, other than giving it a 4. I gave it a 2.5.
Did you?
Yeah, I get it. It's a bit too new in my brain to know how I feel about it. I think I need to ruminate on things for a little
Yeah,
while.
you've literally just watched it, haven't you?
Yeah, like literally, I probably about 40 minutes ago. And if we were just talking through it, I'd be fine because I could give you the plot, but that's not really a good jumping off point for discussion. I think if I had to if I had to give it a shit sandwich, um, I think it's really it being shot on film makes it look gorgeous. The Amazon compression kind of fucked it up in places, but that's streaming films. Streaming films fucking sucks. Um, I think the film probably could have lost about 20 minutes.
Yeah, I think it was a bit long.
Yeah, a pinch long. I think it's always okay to leave audiences wanting more than for audiences waiting to go. And my last bit, I think everyone's performance in it was fantastic. No, it is truly a no small parts movie.
Yeah.
Like again, Richard E. Grant's probably on screen for a total of like 15 minutes, and I could. Lauren's got a ghost that's doing the pops by the sounds of it. Yeah, everyone in it was really, really good and really shiny. Again, the glasses guy at the start, who was his mate, was probably said about 5 lines of dialogue.
Yeah, but he was really good.
Yeah, like I hope that film launches people into doing. I wish you know what. Take it all back to the start, Lauren. I was shocked to see the MGM logo.
Me
I didn't realize that
too.
MGM still existed.
No.
Which makes me think that Amazon has bought MGM so they can put
Ooh.
all of their catalog on Prime.
Oh,
So I actually
maybe.
I don't know who owns the MGM catalog.
I don't know. I don't think I've never seen, where it said that it's got like the motto around the top like in English. I don't know if I have. I might
No,
have done.
I think it's normally in Latin, maybe.
Yeah, and it said, and I found it quite interesting. It said art for art's sake.
Yes.
And then after like watching that, I was like, that's really like poignant for that film kind
Yeah,
of thing.
and the film gets another point for me. It had credits at the start.
Yeah,
I like credits at the start of a
you
movie.
do. And the other thing for me that the film felt so weirdly nostalgic because like 2006 was kind of like
Yes.
when I was sort of like 17, 18, I
Mhm.
think. I was at college, like, and like some of my friends were going to uni, and so it was just so weird for like the
Mm.
music and everything. I was just like taking me back to that sort of time in my life, and that was another thing that I quite enjoyed.
And I was kind of like, oh, just kind of, you set a film in the past for whatever reason, and then I was like, oh yeah, if anyone in this film had a mobile phone, like a proper one, like an iPhone, it'd be
Like a
fucked, wouldn't it?
smartphone.
Yeah, it'd
Yeah.
be fucked, wouldn't it? Like that's why you set a film in the past now, isn't it? Just to get rid of iPhones.
Oh yeah. But like, there was no way that Ollie would have like a social media.
Yeah, but like that would be the giveaway for him would be his character would have an iPhone for some reason, wouldn't it? Like that would be
Yeah.
like a tell.
Yeah.
Um, I the colors were beautiful. Like you can get that digitally. 100% you can get that digitally. But when it's done on celluloid, it brings something
so much
special to
better.
it.
Yeah. Right.
I can't wait. Can't wait to watch Chicken Run next week.
Have you not seen it already?
No, I've not seen it. No,
I have not seen it. I mean, I can't. I'm going to throw this out there. I don't even think I've seen the first one properly, and I'm not sure that I enjoyed it if I did watch it. Anyway, so would you recommend people watch Saltburn?
Well, watch Chicken Run first, and then I really think that Saltburn is doing a thing that all pieces of art should do. This actually came up today at work. You will either probably really like or really hate Saltburn, and that's perfect. The worst reaction you can have to a film is meh. Like you want to love or hate it.
Yeah.
Like,
and that's when people talk about it.
Yeah. Like, the reason no one's talking about the shit that Tom Cruise does, or even people talk about the Fast and Furious movies, because your reaction to them is like, yeah, they're alright.
Are they? My reaction is like, oh, they're making another one. Bloody hell.
Yeah. You sent me that thing today where it was like Tom Cruise is making a film with Warner Brothers. That's never going to get released. The Warner Brothers can't fucking release a movie to save their fucking lives.
It was weird. It's like, what did they call it? Something partnership?
Yes.
Like, it's like Tom Cruise has like paid them a load of money. That's what it sounded like.
I bet Warner Bros. Couldn't believe it when someone turned up with a chat book. Would you recommend Saltburn to someone, Lauren?
I think so. Yeah, like I think even just for like the kind of shocking value of it and the twist and the turns, I think it's an entertaining film.
Yeah.
So yeah, give Saltburn a watch if you can.
I think it will. Again, I think you will react to it, and that's the best thing you can do with art. Like I always think like I find the criticism. You find this more in like traditional arts, like painting and modern art, and you don't get it in films. And I find that it's an interesting critique you never come across. Like you go to a modern art museum, and there'll be like 10 cans on a wall. Some people are like, well, I could have done that. And it's like, yeah, well, you didn't, did you? and like, that's still a reaction. If your reaction is, woof, it's like, yeah, but the art worked on you because you're reacting to it. Like, and if the reaction you get is fury, it's still a reaction. Like, I only found out recently about one of Yoko Ono's short films. Oh, God. Did I send you about?
You sent me a message about that. I was just like, what? Sorry, what?
Yeah, Yoko Ono did a short film called Self-Portrait, and it's apparently a 45-minute shot of John Lennon's flaccid penis.
No, I'm sure it said erect penis.
Oh, erect penis. Man, keep it up for fucking 45 minutes. Good on him. Come all together now, guys. That's all I can say. Oh, wait, there's a better Beatle joke. 1 second. Hard Day's Night, lads. We know what we're talking about here. Yeah, and again, I'd bet you'd watch that and have a reaction.
Could you watch 45 minutes of it though?
Well, that would be an installation piece, so it'd be something you'd like. It'd just be on, and you'd walk around, wouldn't you?
On in the background.
Yeah, it would. It'd just be projected up against the wall during a bigger show. John Lennon made a short film called Erection, which is like a time lapse of a building being made.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I was like, it feels like these two films' titles got mixed up.
Maybe they put them in the wrong tins or something. Yeah, they were like sending them out.
Oh God. Yeah, go see some art, people. Seriously, like your local gallery will be free, and at most it will cost a $5. Like me and Aisha have just moved, and we need to go to our local art thingy. Like we've got an art walk through like a gardens basically.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, and if it wasn't fucking -1 at the moment, I'd be out there.
It's so bloody cold. It's
Not
ridiculous.
to date the podcast. Oh, a mutual friend of the podcast, Chloe, the other day sent me a message, and she's like mentioning the heat wave really did age the podcast.
That's funny. That was a horrible day.
Oh, but it was so hot. Oh my god. Yeah. Anything else you want to chat about, Lauren, before we go?
I wanted to say, I think hopefully Saltburn will get more people watching films.
Yeah.
I think it's so polarizing. I think that hopefully it's a start for a good year of more people watching films, maybe.
Yeah, definitely. I think the best thing you can do, guys, is treat yourself to some movies. Like, cinema is such an accessible form of art to enjoy. Like I was saying, like we were talking about the statues in Saltburn. It's like, my art history is not great, so I can't identify the statues in the film. But like cinema, at least normal cinema, doesn't expect you to bring anything to it normally, unless you're watching the 16th film in a Marvel like thing. Where it's like,
bring your list. Everything that you need to know.
Yeah, have you watched What If Season 2? Because if not, this season of Echo is not going to be good for you. Actually,
really?
I'll start today. No, well, I'm just pulling shit out of the air. You know what I mean? It's like,
I think it's already out. I think the first 3 episodes were out. I've not
of
looked
Echo.
at it. I think so. Yeah.
I want to watch that because I do like Daredevil and I like Kingpin, and I guess
They're supposed to be pretty good, actually, from what I've heard.
Yeah, the thing that interests me is that Daredevil show that they've fucking canned and rewritten 100,000 fucking times. Apparently, they clearly want to get Daredevil right. I think when he turned up in She-Hulk, it was a big eye-opening thing for the MCU to be like, "Oh, people actually really like Charlie Cox as Daredevil." Like,
yeah, I don't know. I think they're just in a bit of a weird place, and they haven't. I don't think they 100% know where they're going.
No. I think... Oh, did you see the thing this morning where they were like, oh, all of the Defender shows are canon now?
What?
Yeah, they officially announced that, like, Daredevil, Jessica Jones, Luke Cage and Iron Fist, they're all canon.
But they weren't canon.
No, but
they are.
They're canon.
Fucking...
Yeah, that was a weird thing they announced this morning.
Righto.
Which makes me go...
Just call me. Let me get back on the bus when you're on the right path, please. Thank you.
Yeah.
When you turn around and go over the right way, I'll jump back on the bus.
I think maybe I'll check in with Marvel in the next Avengers movie. We'll figure it out. They'll figure it out from there.
I don't know. Like, I saw someone say, like, they were kind of upset, like, something. I think it must have been Echo was coming out, and she was just like, I normally get so excited about Marvel, and I know everything about it. I know, like, all about the production, like what's going on. She's like, I have no clue, and that's how far removed I've become from the Marvel universe. I just don't care anymore. And I think that they've got to a point where they haven't given us anything to care about.
No, not since that Spider-Man movie, basically. Oh, and apparently Black Panther 2 was like the second coming of Christ for some people. Yeah, Black Panther apparently was like godly, and I was like, bit long this.
It was a bit long. I think I enjoyed it though. It was very...
I would much so have rather had a show about Ironheart than about Echo.
Yeah,
just
they've
make
cancelled Ironheart, haven't they?
Have they cancelled Ironheart? That's good. That was a character who was exciting. I'm glad they've fucked that off. So they can make another show of fucking Captain Carter and a character I couldn't give two less fucks about. Sorry, if you like Captain Carter, that's great. You know, it must be lovely to have a character you like in a show. I just wish they do anything that had any kind of impact on anything. I think that's the thing at the moment. Everything apart from Loki feels super inconsequential.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that we're currently at the start of the MCU where things kind of are not consequential. Apart from Captain America, the film we just watched, which is like, actually everything that's happened so far has had consequences.
Oh, I don't know. I'm not looking at this. It looks like they filmed Ironheart.
What?
It says it was originally scheduled to debut in 2023. However, the series was unlikely to premiere that year as Disney and Marvel were re-evaluating their content output. It's reported to be releasing in 2024, in May 2023, and was revealed to have been removed from Marvel Studios' release schedule in September amid the ongoing writers' strike, affecting the series' ability to be completed. It will be part of Phase 5 of the MCU. What? None of that makes sense.
Just make an Avengers film, guys. Put fucking Moon Knight, She-Hulk, Black Panther, fucking Captain America. Put them all in a film. Make them fight fucking a Quang and just get over it. Like, DC did it with their Justice League. They're like, fuck it, just get one out.
We'll see.
I'm looking for Zack Snyder's cut of Avengers Infinity War. When's the Snyder cut of that coming out?
Have you got any films that are coming out in 2024 that you're excited about?
No, there's a new Johnny English coming out. Because 50% of the films I've watched this year have been Johnny English. And I've had that 100% of the films I've watched this year. I've had that woman in. Do you think the butler was weird?
He was weird.
Yeah.
But I couldn't work out if he just seemed really like to dislike Oliver.
Yeah.
I don't know if he kind of understood him on a level. I don't really know. I think he just kind of was a bit more not naive compared to the family. I think he thought that he was there for other reasons rather than just to be Felix's friend, maybe.
Yeah. Any films you're looking forward to in 2023, Lauren?
I'm just googled films coming out in 2024.
Is Thunderbolts out this year?
I think that's on the old back burner again. Somebody left. The guy from The Walking Dead left.
Oh, who gives a shit? He's not even been in the MCU yet, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, well, I think so. I don't know if that's stopped filming or whatever. I don't know. So there's a new Ryan Gosling film coming out called The Fall Guy, and it's like an action stunt guy movie.
I'll only watch films of Ryan Gosling where Ryan Gosling plays a hapless fuckwit.
But he is a bit. I think he's meant to be like a bit like that. But it looks like he's funny in it, rather than just like the brooding kind of thing. And I think this is going to be like sort of like peak Ryan Gosling. You know, he's like funny, he's cool, and
he's
I think
Ken
he just
enough.
He's Ken enough. He just gets to like be the best version of himself, and I'm quite excited to see it. What's coming out? Deadpool 3. Really don't care.
I'll go watch that. I'll watch that for the podcast, Lauren.
No, just not.
No, so I will watch it for the pod, so you don't have to watch it.
Thank you. Thanks so much.
Because I am a massive Deadpool in brackets comic fan. I find Ryan Reynolds to be quite irritating.
I kind of like him, but I know what you mean.
Like I think he's good at the one thing he does. He's not the funniest Canadian I know. I'll tell you that.
The funniest Canadian is Ryan Gosling.
Yeah.
Let's have a look. What about Inside Out 2? Not really
wasn't the biggest fan of Inside Out 1, to be honest.
Me either.
I liked it.
People really raved about that, and I was just not for me. It was okay.
Preferred Soul, which is the one that people really didn't like.
Yeah. I think that was a bit too arty for me, maybe. They've remade Nosferatu. What else is coming out? Beetlejuice. Beetlejuice
Don't
2.
don't give a shit. Tim Burton's not made a good film since Beetlejuice.
Ghostbusters Frozen Empire.
No, not been a good Ghostbusters film since Ghostbusters 1.
Sonic the Hedgehog 3.
That's probably one of the better ones that's coming out.
Despicable Me 4.
Oh, hang
That
on.
was supposed to come out in 2020.
Was it? Well, the guy from Walking Dead left, so they had to, reshoot it.
I'm sure it was. I remember seeing it advertised, and like they were getting all of the toys out, and they were advertised everywhere, and then they just like pulled it, but completely removed it from everything.
Oh God! There's a scene where you see one of the minions' dicks. Oh God! Pull it. We've got to go back.
Maybe that's what it is.
Yeah, we've got to go back to the render bay. We don't know how this.
Some idiot animated a penis on one of these minions. Rewrite the film.
And we don't know which one. There's hundreds of them. We've got to go through the film frame by frame and find out which minion's got the dick. It gives another meaning to banana. Is that what they say?
Banana. Banana. That's what they do. And it listens to this song and it's like, Melele con la papaya. They just sing a song like that.
I'm so happy I don't have children so I have to tolerate this kind of nonsense.
Oh, you listen to number blocks every day of your life. It's great.
I mean, I do that in my free time anyway, but any original films coming out, I guess The Fall Guy, whatever the fuck that is. But
no, that's a remake of a TV series from the 1980s because Lee was like, oh my God, The Fall Guy? That was a great TV show. He was like,
fucking hell.
Oh, Argyle.
Well, that's based on a novel, though.
Yeah, but it's the novel. They don't. Did I get that TikTok that I sent you?
Yeah, that TikTok that said that Taylor Swift wrote Argyle.
Because it's like completely written under an alias, and it's only been written like recently. So that there's a possibility that they've just written this book for the movie as part of like a marketing campaign.
Well, I swear, films have done stuff like that before, haven't they?
I don't know.
Well, it's like the Ant-Man book from Ant-Man 3 you can buy his autobiography.
Oh yeah, I do want to buy that.
Next you're going to tell me they're remaking fucking Dunstan Jackson.
Oh, that's a brilliant film. Me and my sister had that on VHS, and we bloody loved that film.
Oh God! And they're going to tell me they're going to remake what's it called, Any Which Way But Loose. Is that the one where Clint Eastwood's got a monkey as well?
Oh, I don't know. Apparently, there's a Knives Out 3 coming. I don't know how true half of these are.
I'll watch another Knives Out movie. I really like. I know people were torn on Glass Onion. I liked.
It was okay. I think it's just because it wasn't as good as the first one.
We'll end on this argument. This will be a good place to end. I think it was just as good as the first one. It was just a different type of mystery.
Yeah.
The first one was a who done it from the start, and the second one is a cleverer movie, I find.
Yeah.
It is funnier. I actually think the name is cleverer, more clever. That's the second time I've been like cleverer. Like, you know, because the name's a metaphor, isn't it? A glass onion is something that appears to have lots of layers, but you can see right through. I think maybe some people were a bit pissed off at, like, the film being like, no, we were telling you from the start, this is not clever. This is a glass onion. It's. I really like. I'd say that I'm going to do something you can't do on the internet. I'm going to say these two things are just as good as each other in different ways.
No, I know, I agree that. I just think I enjoyed the first one more.
Yeah, I think the thing that did Glass Onion for me, I think the LeBlanc performance is a lot better and he's having way more fun with that character, and I enjoyed seeing him be that character. Also, but put Batista in a movie and I'm just happy to be there.
Hi there, there's Josh quickly cutting in here to tell you by this point Lauren had brought out a 1 foot tall Grogu toy, and that's why we've both gone absolutely mad by this point, and that's what noises you can hear. Bye now.
Dear. So this has been a fun one, Lauren. It was nice to watch. It was nice to watch a more modern movie.
Oh, I can't even turn it on.
A moderner movie. Oh my! What is wrong with me?
You're like me from the last episode. I was like, I can't believe I couldn't speak at all.
How strong was that tap water I've been drinking? Oh, hang on. This is nail polish remover. I shouldn't have been drinking that.
Oh shit! Why have you got nail polish remover?
To take nail polish off, obviously.
I'm sure, yeah.
Pardon me. Right, this has been fun one, Lauren. If you have any questions, please get in touch via the Marvellous podcast at gmail.com. You can find us on Instagram and TikTok at the Marvellous podcast or something like that. I can't remember the Twitter and not Twitter, the Instagram and TikTok. Our music is provided by our good friend Luke.
Thank you, Luke.
Who the band he is the drummer for, Caymans, have got their first album coming out this year, which is available for pre-order.
That's
up
so
until
cool.
May the 3rd, I think.
Awesome.
And the thing is, guys, the album charts in the UK are piss easy to get into. Because nobody buys albums anymore.
No.
We're talking if those guys get about 2,000 pre-orders and sales on the release week of their album, they'll make the charts, guys.
Wow.
Super easy. I was pre-ordering mine. I'm getting mine in vinyl for 25 quid. And 25 quid for a vinyl album's pretty good.
Yeah.
You know, I would recommend everyone do the same. Luke is absolutely lovely. We've been friends since about 2006, funny enough, when Saltburn is. We met in Oxford. He took me back to his big house. Yeah, you got any lovely personal projects of your friends you'd like to promote, Lauren, just at the end here? Or?
No. No, I don't have any other friends doing anything interesting. Sorry, guys.
It's all right. We thank you all for listening. I do appreciate we have the fans that we have, and when we're all rich and famous, we'll remember you, the real ones.
On day zeros.
On day zero, yeah. Before we got patched. Which host do you reckon is going to be replaced first, Lauren? You or me? I think it'll be me.
No, you'll beat me out. Dropping the dice all the time.
No, it'll be when the podcast gets bought by Earwolf or one of those networks. It'll be like the first we've got to do is get rid of that Josh guy. Would you do it, Lauren? Would you sell me out for the big bucks?
Well, it depends how much money they were going to give me.
Oh, great! That wasn't.
And then we'll just start. I'll take the money. I'll give them the podcast, and then we'll start a new one.
Called Less Marvelless.
We've done all the Marvel films by then. We'll have to think of something else to do.
Yeah, in 2 years' time we're out of Marvel films. Anyway, so it is a thank you and a goodbye from me.
Thank you and goodbye from me.
Bye bye. This is the bit where the podcast
ends.
Bye. Stop recording. Here we go, becoming a professional podcaster. Here.
Oh, hang on, I need more vodka for that. There we go.
Say, Lauren, your nail varnish looks nice.
Oh, thank you.
That's my compliment done, and now the podcast can start.